Alright, so let's take a look at more useful phrases. Some words and phrases that are pretty useful, some of them are adverbs, adverbial phrases, adverbial clauses, and some adjectives that we use in our writing and also in speaking, depending on the tone and register, whether formal or informal. Now, quick look at some of the stuff that are pretty simple, but sometimes they give us some trouble, like the other and another. Yes? So if I say, well, I have two friends, one of them is coming here, another one, can I say another one is not coming?
No.
So I should say, the other one is not coming. So another, the other, completely different. Let's keep that in mind. So I have two hands, I'm driving with one hand and drinking coffee with the other hand. Oh, that's too bad because you can't drive and drink, and the cops sometimes will catch you and give you a ticket. So, or driving with one hand and drinking, well, like speaking to my cell phone on the other hand, and getting a ticket with maybe another hand coming from somewhere. So you know, another and the other, of course. When there are only two options, when you are talking about one, it's the other. You only have two options. One is this, another, or the other. The other. So you have three options. One is this. Can I say the other?
No.
But I can say the other two.
Yeah.
The other two are not very appealing because that's the only.
The other
So-
two?
Yes, I can say the other two. We also have my other, or his other. That is one's other. So, my other, or one's, let's say, other. So is it easy to use? Tian, can you think of a sentence with my other? Perhaps?
I have two siblings.
I have two siblings, meaning my sister. Usually, native people do not say I have two siblings,
So,
but like I have two brothers and sisters. Yeah, okay.
so I have two.
I have that. No, I have two.
I have two sisters.
This is a.
Sisters. One is 28 years old. The other.
Okay, I'm talking my other. You know what? We used to drive some stupid, crappy cars, like a Lemon, an old car, and then there was the bumper sticker or something in the back saying, "My other car is a Porsche." So you're driving this dilapidated old Chevrolet, and you go like, "My other car is a Porsche." So it's my other. It's like you want to say the other because my acts as the here. It's basically it's a determiner, right? It's like a noun or definite article here. We say my other car. So he has two girlfriends. His other girlfriend. This girlfriend is like this. His other girlfriend. He has two cars. His other car. So my other car is a Porsche. Remember, it's also possible to say my other. Yes. People with two houses. This house is like this. My other house is on that street. So remember that. And then of course we have others. The others should not know about it. Of course. So other, another, others, or the others. Yes? Others shouldn't know, or the others. So when you say others, don't even know that I'm here. The others don't even know. The other people. That's the plural form. Simple. We had the word exaggeration yesterday, but apparently the word exaggeration is not as easy as I thought it is for some people. So, Mark Twain once said, "The news of my death was a little exaggerated." They said he was dead. He was like sick maybe. So we exaggerate all the time. We see something, see two things, we say, oh, there were like 3 cats, so like there were 10 cats there, or tens of cats. There were like, there was nobody in the class. 2 people are there. That's an exaggeration. So exaggeration, that's an exaggeration as a noun. If something is 10 and then I say, hey, look, they're 40, 50, say that's an exaggeration. That's an exaggeration. He's exaggerating. Come on, you're exaggerating. I'm not exaggerating. No, I'm not exaggerating. If I say a very favorite phrase that you can also use in your writings, which would give you a good score, if you say it's impossible to exaggerate the importance of. It's impossible to exaggerate the importance of. Tulio, what do you think? The sentence would mean. It is impossible to exaggerate the importance of something. What do you think this means?
Things too important that you get.
There's no way you can exaggerate it. There's no way you can exaggerate it. It's impossible to exaggerate. Can you give me an example?
It's possible to exaggerate the importance of the water in the world to survive.
Which one? Water?
Yes.
Water. Okay. It's impossible to exaggerate the importance of water. It's impossible to exaggerate the importance of education in a society. You can't exaggerate the importance of education. It's so important that you cannot exaggerate. So it is impossible to exaggerate the importance of something. It means that thing is very important. When you want to say something is very important, you say it is impossible to exaggerate the importance of education in a society. So, water, he spoke of water. Water is what for life? What's the word? For life? And living?
Essential.
Essential. Another word that's better than essential for water. Vital. Vital means without it, you can't live. You cannot dispense with it. It's indispensable. I wonder if I give you words on essential. Essential. Necessary. Indispensable. Means you can't dispense with it. You can't dispense with water. You can't dispense with it. If you can't dispense with something, it means that thing is very important. You can't live without it. You can't dispense with means do without. We cannot do without kindness and love. Human beings cannot do without love and passion. We cannot live without love. We can't do without it. We can't do without water. We can't live without water. We can't dispense with this item. For example, you decide to cut corners. The company decides to cut corners. To cut corners. What is it when we cut corners? To cut corners means to economize. What do we do when we economize? We try to dispense with excessive expenses. The money that we should spend and we don't need. We want to say goodbye to that. So we cut corners. We try to save some money by economizing, by cutting some corners. But then we say, you can't dispense with this item. We cannot cut it off the list. We need that item. It's indispensable. Essential. Necessary. Vital. Yes? Vital. Water is vital for life and living. Yes? It's an indispensable element. We cannot dispense with water. It's vital. Okay. Now, talked about exaggeration. These numbers are a little bit exaggerated. They look a little exaggerated to me. They look somewhat exaggerated. Somewhat means, yes, somewhat. We have somewhat, we have somehow, but somewhere, somewhat exaggerated. Okay. No matter, again, not difficult. No matter how long it takes, no matter what, no matter how, no matter who. Yes? No matter how long it takes, I'll wait. No matter what happens, I'll wait, I'll go. No matter who's in there, I don't care, I'll do it. I'll do my job. No matter who's watching, so no matter what. And if you do something no matter what,
What happens?
means no matter what happens, you'll do it. Okay. A couple of words, like one phrasal verb for time, not verb, sorry. One adverbial phrase of time was left out yesterday, as soon as I saw him, he ran away. Or as soon as he saw me, I ran away. As soon as he saw the cops, he saw the police, he ran away. One thing about as soon as is, as soon as you finish, call me. Please call me as soon as you finish. Or as soon as you have finished. Please call me as soon as you have finished. Or as soon as you finish, both. Yeah, as soon as you have finished. So as soon as, the thing about as soon as you have finished, or you finish. Now in the past, as soon as I finished, I left. As soon as she finished, she left. Also in the past you can say as soon as she had finished, she left. As soon as you have finished, you can leave as soon as you finish. As soon as you finish, or as soon as you have finished. The minute, the moment, the minute I saw him, I fell in love. The minute I saw her, I fell in love. The minute he saw me, he left. Means as soon as. Right? Okay. We want to move on. We have a few more. For conditionals, some of these adverbials or adverbial phrases are used for conditionals. Like if, of course we have the conditional sentences, and one day we will look at the conditional sentences. But we have in case, if, provided, these words. I'll give a quick look here. If you see him, tell him I'm thinking about him. It could be in, yes? If I go there, I will or may see him, right? Now, very quickly, later on I'll talk more about conditionals in actually the chapter about conditionals. But right now, just a quick preview of conditionals. We actually, how many conditional sentence types do we have? Some say 3, some say 4, some say 5. By 5, some would say there's a 0 conditional. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, and there is 4. So 0 and 1 are very close. Sometimes they bundle them. If you heat water, if you heat water, if you heat water and heat it to 100 degrees centigrade, what happens? It boils or will boil? Boils or will boil? Which one? Tulia, what do you think?
Will boil.
Will boil. Boils or will boil?
Boys.
Okay. So it boils. Why? Because this one, zero conditional, is about natural facts. So if there are natural facts, or laws of nature, or things that are always true. Like, you know about yourself. It's always true about you. If I don't sleep at night, I will or no. It's a usual thing. Or routine and usual things. Usual things. If I don't sleep at night, I fall asleep in the morning. I will fall asleep. If I don't get enough sleep, I know myself. Why don't you drink? If I drink even a bit, I can't do something. Or because it's a natural fact, it's a natural law, it's true about you, it's always like that. So we don't need to use will. Conditional one, if this one is simple present, so if you go there, you see him or you what?
Will.
You will see him. Or you can say, instead of will, you can say may.
Yeah.
You can, you may. Or use some modals. You may see him.
That's okay.
If you go there, you may see him. That's one. Conditional two. Somebody give me conditional two. If I, you, I talk to him. It's not talk. So if I were you, instead of was, why not was? I wouldn't talk to him. If I were you. Now, can I say if I was you? Naturally, I should say I was you because I was. But in conditional, second type, because it's not real, it's imaginary, if I were you. If I had $1 million, if I had, I don't, right?
Yeah.
If I had $1 million, I would go around the world. Travel around the world. Travel around the world. If I had, I would. If I were you, but there's a song. If I was a little bit tall or I had a girl, say if I was. Well, people when they speak, you also hear if I was. But grammatically speaking, not very acceptable. That's informal. So say if I were you, if he were here, he would kill you. If he were here, he was, right? But if he were here, all would be plural. There's no was in this case, which is not true. Okay? If I were you, if I had $1 million, if I were a little taller, if he were here, if I could do something, if I could show you, I would. But I can't, so I won't. If I could show you, I would. But I can't, so I won't. Now, the third one, the third conditional would be if I had been there, okay, if I had been there, if I had known him before, I maybe wouldn't have lent him any money. Yeah, because I lent him money and he ran away with my money. Just because I didn't know him very well. If I had known him before, I wouldn't have lent him any money. So, first conditional is easy, simple present. If you go, will, do something, simple future. Or modals. Second one is simple past, wouldn't. Would or wouldn't. Simple past and would talk. If he were here, he would see you, oh my god, if dad were here, or if dad was here, now were here more grammatical. If dad were here, he would be extremely happy to see you. If Martha was here, if Martha were here, more grammatical, she would be thrilled, excited to see you. If I had $1 million, I would buy a nice cottage in north of, let's say Toronto, or in a nice place so we could go for fun during the weekends. Yes? Now, had done, would have done. So, this one is if had done, if had whatever done, this part would have done. Would have done, or wouldn't have done. Simple. Now how about the fourth? The fourth is a mixture of 2 and 3. It's raining and I'm getting really wet. If I had brought my umbrella, I wouldn't be getting wet. Or I wouldn't get so wet. But I'm getting wet, so I wouldn't be getting wet. Because it's continuous. I'm getting wet. I wouldn't be getting wet if I had brought my umbrella. You lose the address. If you hadn't lost the address, we wouldn't be walking around, wandering around the streets. Because we are wandering around the streets right now without an address. If you hadn't forgotten to bring the address, we wouldn't be wandering the streets now. We wouldn't be roaming the streets, wandering around, looking for the house. So this is a little bit complicated, but right now we have 4 conditionals. Very quickly to preview. We'll have exercises on it later. But it's easy. If you go there, you may see him, you will see him. If you call him, you will get an answer. You may get an answer. 0 conditional, which is part of the first conditional, actually, both parts, simple present. Simple present this side, simple present this side. Yes? If you heat water to 100 degrees centigrade, it boils. But sometimes we use will, even in that structure. If you scare a dog, it may or will bite you. It will attack you. But grammatically, I should say it attacks you. Because naturally, if you scare dogs, they should attack you or they run away, I don't know. If I were you, I wouldn't do that. If I were you, I wouldn't call her. If I were you, I wouldn't talk to him. If I were you, I would call him. If I were you, I would apologize to him. I would. If I were her, if I were her, not she. If I were her, I wouldn't even bother to call him. I wouldn't call him. I wouldn't talk to him. Or I would. If I had $1 million, I would travel. If you had called me, I would have told you. If you had called me, I would have told you. If you had called me, I could have told you. Now, since we're talking about would have, could have, should have, very quick look at that. Of course, we will look at modals as well in the future. But before that, I want to have a look at could have, would have, should have.